Greetings, fellow zombie slayers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Zed City, Episode 13, Randy being toxic. So first order of business, or continuing order of business, is for Zeusin to be trying to get to water filtration. Because in 0.9 days, so in like 22 hours or something like that, the groundwater will no longer be drinkable. And I'm going to need to shut off this valve and this valve so that the polluted toxic water does not enter our water tower vats. Something else I wanted to do is change this design a little bit. The change to this design is going to have to wait until zombie threat is a little bit lower because I'm going to need to go outside for it. But I will hopefully be getting around to that sometime soon. What do I need in order to get the first vehicles? So that's probably the long-term goal of this stream. What I would need, the bare minimum would be to research biofuel refining and then basic vehicles. But without getting at least fabrication, it is highly unlikely, or rather it's a really bad idea to build a vehicle without fabrication. Because what would end up happening is I would have to, like, build the vehicle bench, and then I would run out of components to actually construct the vehicle. So the bare minimum would be biofuel refining and vehicle construction, but in reality it would also be fabrication. Because without fabrication, we'll just simply run out of reagents. But that is probably the goal, is to actually get a vehicle running so that we can make rescues. Because I have been asked time and time again on YouTube, like, how does more people get added to this series? So you know when there's incapacitated people, or people that are held captive by hostile factions? That's how I add people. They basically radio me for help, and then I drive out to them and rescue them. And I would say that the vehicle mods are a little wonky. So it's going to be relatively imperfect, but you'll see once we get there that it's good enough. So it's basically not going to happen that Zeusin will get water filtration in time. So what we're trying to do is we're just trying to race to water filtration before I actually run out of waters in these tanks. One thing I could do is to stop irrigation, because irrigation through these sprinklers costs an enormous amount of water. But I think I'm going to risk it. I think I'm going to keep the water flowing anyway. Just because that's how I roll. And yeah, of course, if you have any questions about the series, feel free to ask. I absolutely don't mind answering questions. So there's some other things that we need to also prepare when getting vehicles, which brings me to the redesign of this roadway. As anyone knows, when you're caravanning in RimWorld, you can't really select your exit so well. So what I need to do is I need to have the vehicle that we're preparing be ready to exit the map in all 4 directions. Meaning that there's like at least a 2 or 3 wide gap for the vehicles. So I'll be working towards that once we deal with the toxic fallout. And the toxic fallout contamination is hitting in about a half a day. Redfield is out here, starving and exhausted, and I'll have him tap out. Bubba Shug, Penguin Addy, and Miss Key, thank you for the resubs. Would a second research bench help up water filtration? Not likely. I mean, it would help, but the issue is there is functionally no way to like get that constructed and have one of my people that have terrible research skills actually contribute meaningfully in time. So if I had 2 researchers, yes. If I had an abundance of components, yes. If I had the space for it next to the multi-analyzer, yes. But all of those answers are unfortunately no at the moment. So, yeah. They are not... There's a bit too many of them for me to feel safe. So I'm going to want to clear them out. One of the other things I wanted to do is to tidy up the butchery a little bit more. Is this made of sandstone? Okay, good. Oops, I just killed the butchery zone. That's fine. Whatever. I'll put it back. And then I probably also want to change the settings to allow for hops, to allow for wort, and to allow for cycloid leaves. Oh, you know, I still have... No, that's the regular stockpile zone. Okay, so copy this, paste it there, and then a dumping zone for the corpses. So, fresh corpses that are animals and not insects. Cool. Modern bathroom fixtures is done. Go for electric pumps. And toxic fallout in 0.6 or 0.4 days. So I have a little bit more time before I have to prepare for the fallout. Turning off the water and whatnot. Need a bigger freezer? Or at least just storing it more efficiently. I mean, more efficient storage will work for now. Perhaps a bigger freezer is a project in the future, but of course, my current priority is dealing with the toxic fallout. Speaking of which, yeah, don't bother sowing the hay. You ain't getting hay out of that, friend. How far away is the tree from water purification? So all of electric pumps and then water filtration is here. So I'm pretty close in the scheme of things. And I have a decent amount of water stockpiled. I have about 7,500 liters of water stockpiled, which is why I'm not immediately concerned about water shortages, because I have a lot of stockpiled water, and I'm getting pretty close to the research. With that said, it is time to flick these valves so that I don't add toxic water to our water supply. So flick that, and Redfield's already flicking this. Good. The handles are red now. And water supply is cut. Perfect. You enjoying it out there, Guero? Out on the dock in the bay? With your gin and juice or something? Making a little bit of changes to the dock. But while we're out here, I'm going to have Stormguard and Redfield clear them out. We are headed to a brief zero threat time. The problem with that, of course, is that even at zero threat, it is toxic fallout out. So, like, we don't want the toxic fallout to get us sick. And what I'm doing here is I'm just moving the sink so that the sink can be plumbed and able to be drawn with water even when this plumbing valve is off. Aviator, thank you for the resub. And Comp Full too. Welcome. Alright, let's do a quick scan for special zombies, making sure that we are aware of... So there's this healer zombie, but they're not particularly dangerous unless they're linked with dangerous stuff, like tank zombies. No, we're pretty good. Pretty good. When my fabrication is done, how do I intend to keep the steel flowing? So that actually is a really good question because it answers another question that I had about this series. So one of the questions I got about this series is, why is there no ores? So obviously this series is different than a lot of the other series I've run because they have ruins. And in order to incentivize the player, me in this case, but if you're playing for yourself, you, to actually go to other ruins, I removed all the ores and deep drilling so that we would have to. So to keep steel flowing, we have to go to the other ruins on the map to salvage it. So we have to scrap them from other ruins. And these all these ruins are completely random other people's bases. So I have no idea if they have steel or not. So some of the ruins are just going to be like giant brick buildings that have nothing. And some of the ruins are going to actually have stuff. And I'm not going to know until I get there. There's also, of course, slag, but there's a finite amount of slag. Granted, there's a lot of slag on this specific map, but there is a finite amount of slag. So slag will tide me over for a while, but it's a pretty limited supply. How long will the series go? I don't know. Definitely not as long as the first Wendigo. But exactly the length, I cannot say. Alright, Stormguard, you can take a... come on. Take a proper break. Okay. So we have some better shelving. Nice. And the toxic fallout has contaminated the water sources. But the valves are closed. So those contaminated water sources aren't being added to our water sum. You can see the water draining out very, very quickly as a result of the sprinklers, but like that's fine. We'll have like 4 or 5 more days of water for the sprinklers before they run dry. You recently found me through YouTube? Well, thank you for hopping in on Twitch. It doesn't happen often, but I love when it does. You know, with my luck, the minute I get water filtration research done, toxic fallout's gonna stop. Like, I just know it. I just know it. I'm not stupid. Randy is screwing with me. That's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. But water filtration is kind of nice to have anyway, once you have an excess of power, because regular groundwater is untreated, so it has a slight disease risk. The disease is only like diarrhea, which is very similar to food poisoning in the game, where it's not gonna kill you. It's just gonna make you have a very unpleasant day. But filtering our water would be nice to be able to do anyway. So there's electric pumps, and let's go to water filtration. So we'll have that in due time. We are about a day and a half or so away from a zero threat event. So it'd be really good to clear out all the remaining zombies so that we can actually traverse the map. And I'd like to start preparing for vehicles, driveways and the like. Yeah, look at the bright side. I made the toxic fallout stop by getting the research for it. Yeah, it's pretty much how it's gonna go. So I've got about a tenth of the water filtration research already done. Looks like Redfield, you're idle. So one of the other things that I could do while people are idle and sort of cooped up in the base is to mine away parts of the mountain, because I'm gonna want more stone building materials, possibly for the flooring in the base. That will be left to patrolling or for additional walls outside. You know, there's a lot of reasons to do construction. So although there are no insects in this, I'm still going to avoid overhead mountain tiles just because they can't be used for solar. And I doubt I'm ever going to have like a massive solar array, but if I want one, it would be good not to, you know, be chipping away at things that can't produce solar. The reason I don't think I'm going to have a massive solar array is I do have a geyser here and I have a geyser there. And then I could also tap the geyser here as well. Because zombies aren't too interested in destroying infrastructure, for the most part. They're way more interested in killing us, so it's not a big deal if zombies like break into a geothermal geyser wall or something like that, because they're not going to really do any harm. What to have you guys do when you're idle? Very good question. Just hang out and have a good time, Redfield. Yeah, fill up that rec bar. Also, why aren't you hauling... Oh, preferred. Yeah, let's drop that to normal. There we go. That looks cleaner. Alright, well, if you're idle, I'm gonna get you to cook some extra meals, I suppose. And unlock the cutting stone. So we'll start stone cutting. What has been the most challenging thing so far in this series? Being careful and cognizant enough not to make any mistakes, because a single mistake is fatal. Oh, which brings me to another part. I don't want to panic you, but if one of my colonists got bit, the only thing I could do at present would be to lop off the thing that got bit. Leg, arm, obviously, fingers, etc. If it was a neck or torso bite, they're just dead. There's no saving them. The reason is, the way to make a cure to be able to treat infections requires real medicine, which I do not have. I only have herbal medicine, and the recipe for like a zombie serum is actual medicine, industrial medicine, which means I may need Nuturamine in order to, or to find industrial medicine out in a ruined city. So I have to be very, very careful, because any bite is a fatal bite. At the, you know, unless I can chop the limb off. So, yeah, that would be a challenge, is to try to like manage Twitch chat, manage the polls, answer questions, and then also pay enough attention to make sure that no mistakes are made. And the no mistakes are made is kind of the important bit. I do get a lot of YouTube comments or even like chat comments of people suggesting that I take on additional tasks to make things more complicated for myself, you know, adding essentially more micromanagement. And my answer is always, look, I have enough to manage. Sure, I could micromanage better or take on more micromanagement responsibilities, but the simple fact of the matter is, the more that you try to juggle, the less likely you are to keep those balls from falling. Or spinning plates from crashing. It looks like... Well, so it's Jogust. It's summer, but it's kind of like a colder summer. So this is part of the redesign of the sort of entryway. That's what's going on here. Another thing I need to check up on is to make sure that nobody is getting too bad toxic buildup. And so far, that is not the case. So we're about to hit a 0 threat, which will be a really good time for me to sort of fix up the driveway that I hope to use at some point. Cryon, thank you for the sub. Oh, and I missed a dog treats, didn't I? Here, bud. Just gonna have Redfield go out here. So these guys here are just like stunned, essentially. They're no longer conscious zombies. And there's a great big die-off up here in this little nook. So all of these stunned zombies are eventually going to decay. They're just decaying out. I think if I cleared out a few more zombies, we would be safe to traverse around the map. One of the things I probably want to do in that case is to have someone like Stormguard run out to steel and to try to capture as much steel as we can. Because if I am heading towards being able to make cars, I'm going to need as much steel as possible. Whoa! Holy moly. We don't want that to collapse on your head, buddy. Hey, Guero. I'm going to have you construct before you mine, so that the sky won't be falling. So we are almost at 0 threat, and I'm going to be going around just clearing out of the zombies so I can traverse the map as I please without risk. Is the fallout water forever contaminated? No. As soon as the toxic fallout goes away, the water is potable. As little as that makes sense, that's just the way it's designed. Just die already, Jesus. Alright, what do we have left? One in the mountain ruins there. So yeah, we're pushing towards a 0 threat, and I just want to clear the map so that I can do steel hauling. And I'll probably caravan steel haul. I'm gonna try to avoid doing a lot of caravanning, because I know it bothers some people. But it's just so... Oh, okay. An aurora. Lovely time to be outside. So there's a few more zombies up here. But I think what I'm going to do is to have... Because Stormguard and Redfield are getting a little tired. I'm going to unrestrict them and have them haul some steel home. While I carefully watch... So 68, and you aren't hauling steel. And the toxic fallout's still happening, it's just the aurora makes it look like it's not happening, which is just the weirdness of RimWorld's weather system. Let them rest. And there goes the aurora, and here comes the fallout again. Okay. How much water do we got? 4,700 liters. And we're a little over halfway for water filtration. The bigger question is, do I have a power grid that can support it? Like right now, with no solar and almost no wind, our batteries are going to be dropping hard. Is the bottom door open for a reason? Yes. Zombies get a little pissed at closed doors. Hey, look, it's a healer. Alright, so we're at 0 threat for about 2 days, and I want to take advantage of it. So I'm going to add to the priority here, deal with the toxic fallout, and change the road system. Don't forget to rehome zone. Yeah, I'm not actually going to change the base zoning. Oh yeah, I see the door propped open by the steel. I'm not going to change the base zoning, though. Not until the thing is done. All right, Zeusing back to research. Come on, Redfield, eat. I need you to go murder things. All right. Let's clear out the remainder of the zombies that are around. This stupid zombie is, like, hiding in the walls because of the propped open door. Hey, Mr. Stupid Zombie. Oh, you're stuck now. Getting all ornery, too. I wish they were in my... they're out of my range, so I can't piss them off. Quest, selling the mountain home. 460 cloth for someone named Gerald to join, who is a trigger-happy, kind... dude, social, uranium, or goodwill, and mountain home is up there. Well, I highly doubt I'm going to have a vehicle capable of selling to them within the time it requires, so I'm going to have to turn that down. But we're starting to see people joining quests happening, which is cool. All right, let's fix this situation here. Guero, would you kindly? I'm going to have Redfield stand there. Done. All right. Let's haul the steel out. And now we can secure the outside and start working out here. All right, so zombies. All the zombies are like kind of far away and not of an immediate concern. So further afield should be safe for our people. And I'll have Redfield try to kill off the remaining zombies and then haul in some extra steel so that we can craft vehicle parts. And also, the other thing is I want to open up ways so that we can actually drive around the map, which is going to be important when we have vehicles. Right, so Stormguard, the farm I think can wait. I have to go for steel. Unrestricted, all steel. I don't think there's any zombies around here. The only one that was nearby I just killed. So this is so that we can drive around without, because if the car doesn't have a valid path, you can't drive. And I have 5 zombies left, so one's here. And then got one there. Got it. Because I might even take Zeus'in off of research duty in lieu of just getting as much steel as possible during the zero threat period. The Stormguard. Let's get you back out. That's not a lot of steel. Here we go. There's like 75. Alright, so 3 zombies left. Don't you chase me. I mean, I know that's all you want to do. I'm a tasty treat, but... Alright, single zombie left. Just this one. Ah, good! Right as I wanted to do a lot of hauling, Guero and Stormguard contracted muscle parasites. Freaking rip. Alright, so here is 225 steel that I'll grab. Well, at least I have some herbal meds to be able to tend for the muscle parasites, but yeah, that was annoying. Just Randy being Randy. I'm gonna push because I don't think that the characters are gonna have mental breaks. They're all fairly happy. I'm gonna push them a little hard to try to take advantage because I did go to all the effort to clear out the map, and it's only going to be cleared for one more day. So I want to get as much hauling done in that day as possible. So like low sleep. Low sleep. Yeah, there's a lot of steel up in this corner. Unfortunately, the muscle parasited ones are not able to haul very much because they're in pain or whatever. So, man. So muscle parasites go away once the total tending hits 300. Yeah. So it's going to be a minute. I think Zeusin and Redfield... Okay, so Zeusin is slightly more passionate and slightly higher level, so I'm going to have Zeusin do the tending. So that is 70 down and 230 to go. And I think 70 is the maximum for what to expect from herbal meds. There goes another 70. Okay. Man, that's rough luck. Oh, really? You set the one thing on that was flammable in my farm on fire, which is the vent. Great. I'm going to have you guys remind me that I've halted the bill for foods so that I can get Redfield out here. So Redfield and Zeusin are the ones that can move about. I am like seconds away from getting a water filtration. So I think as soon as Zeusin gets water filtration done, I will I'll put her on hauling. Because I'm just trying to get as much steel as possible so that things are nice and well supplied for fabrication. There's also the threat of toxic buildup. Actually, Redfield is getting pretty close to the threshold of moderate risk. Meaning he should probably be inside. I'm going to keep him inside. Man, rip. Yeah, in fact, Redfield, just finish the research, and then we'll send Zeusin out. So Stormguard is initial but high. Guero is minor and high. So Guero and Redfield, I'm going to have stick to the base because their toxic buildup is a bit too dangerously high. And then Zeusin is going to have to do the hauling while Redfield tries to figure out what water filtration is. So much for taking advantage of these days. Yeah, no kidding, man. No kidding. Just best laid plans and all, right? CP and Green, thank you for the hype chat. And Klein for the resub. Cheers. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat, Klein. Oh, volcanic winter. So it's raining ash and toxic fallout. Delicious. Sign me up, never. Okay, water filtration is done. If my prediction holds, I will have the toxic fallout go away in 5 minutes. That's my guess. But, oh, there it goes. Toxic fallout's gone. Randy. All right, well, at least we can unrestrict. It's literally seconds. Literally seconds. The second I finished water filtration, toxic fallout disappeared. Like, for real. How? How is the game that petty? How is the game that petty? I feel that's just mean. That's mean and cruel in unusual ways. Okay. Well, the good news is we can go back to getting fabrication. I guess. I got a whole lot of pointless research done. And then we can also turn on the pumps because the toxic fallout is gone and the water systems are no longer poisoned. Just shake my head. What the hell? So we're up to about... Yeah, we've gotten Oh, threat scale's climbing back up. So I gotta be... Okay. Zeusin, you're gonna have to turn around here, because you're about to walk into zombies, and you have a little auto pistol, which is not particularly effective against zombies. Where is Stormguard going? Alright, where Stormguard is heading is still somewhat safe. But yeah, we're losing our window of opportunity here, which is fine. I took advantage of it decently, I think. Got a lot of steel. But it didn't do any of the redesign work that I was hoping to do. So let's take a look at the forecast. The forecast looks bad up until about 4 days from now. So I'm going to zone restrict everybody for that time. I don't think anyone needs to be out. So Guerrero and Redfield are already home. Base. Zeusin just got inside. Base. And then Stormguard's coming in. What is in the one unrevealed room? I have no idea what's in there. Stormguard has a little, let's call him a Klingon. Ooh, a zombie attack. It's not a lot of zombies. And yeah, I'll take Redfield off of research, so it doesn't clog up the bench. Because he ain't no good at it. Alright, current priority right now is change the road system and research fabrication. The road system probably is not going to get changed for another 4 days because it's really, really high forecast. How do I obtain plasteel? I find it. How do I obtain X? The answer is always going to be, I find it. Whatever the thing is, it must be found. Or, I mean, it could be traded for. Or quested for, or something like that. But for the most part, things are just going to be found. I did restart meals, yes. Although they cooked one and then just like left the ingredients on the stove. And I'm going to bump this down to like 20. I don't... Nope. Make another one, I guess. Because I don't need that many. Stop hovering. In fact, Redfield, I'm going to see if I can't build this granite wall while just being very cautious with your proximity. I'll do the same with... Oh, I'm out of granite blocks? Alright, let's cut then. If, so the changelog is a static image that might be cached in your browser cache, but it is harder today than it was last week. I went over that at the start of the stream. Hey, got back up. He was like the Chumbawamba zombie. Not anymore. Man, I need the holy hand grenade of Antioch to kill that thing. Jesus. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Zed City, which are regularly streamed live on Twitch, October 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you in the next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow zombie slayers,